Hey guys, it's Courtney King here with King Realty and Management, and as you can tell by the title of the post, I am addressing a topic actually that was brought to my attention by another investor. So let me break it down. There was an investor that I came into contact with, and their property became vacant in May. Okay, so May is when it became vacant. The property is still vacant and it's sitting there. It's not a property that I manage, but the investor reached out because of the vacancy. So imagine from May to now, towards the end of September, zero rental income and holding costs. So what do you do? So if you are an investor and you're in that situation, there is help. And I wish that it was like a really profound solution. It's not. But based on my experience, this is what I would do, okay? Number one, evaluate the price. At a basic level, properties rent, how quickly they rent is determined by price and condition. So if it's just sitting there, you are probably overpriced. Or if it's sitting there and you're not getting a lot of activity, then maybe it's the condition as well. So those are the two biggest things. Before I jumped on here, I wanted to look up how many people are relocating to Dallas every day. And the stat that I found, it was an article dated December of 2017, so last year. They said, as of December 2017, over 1,000 people were moving to Dallas-Fort Worth every day. So what does that tell me? That tells me if your property is just sitting there, you got a problem and you got to make some moves. So one, look at price. Two, look at condition. Those are the biggest things, guys. I wish, again, I had something profound to say, and I don't. Those are the two main factors. So if there are other properties in the community that are listed for a lot less than yours, granted, I know your property may be nicer, you still got to be competitive. I mean, because on the rental market, people more often than not are willing to make some concessions and be a little bit flexible. So price number one, condition number one. If you are self-managing, or if you have a manager and they haven't gone to the property in a long time, you got to go buy the property. I mean, on our properties, somebody from my team or myself visits our properties at least once a week if they are vacant. So we're making sure it's swept up, if there's dead bugs and stuff like that. We're making sure the yard is kept up. All of these things the potential tenants are looking at. And so if your yard is all overgrown, a potential renter is looking at that I don't want to rent from them. They don't take care of their property. So the condition is really, really, really important. Next is web presence and marketing. So it kind of goes in hand with my next thing, but are you plastered all over the internet? Is your agent, or are you, if you're self-managing, using social media? It's a huge tool, no matter if you want to deny it or not. Web presence is super, super important. For example, our properties, obviously we list on the multiple listing service, but we're also posting on a bunch of other syndicated websites. Okay, so web presence is huge. And then, is somebody picking up the phone? We get tons of calls directly to our office as a result of the signs that we have in the yard. Also, the phone numbers that are on our ads. Guys, you got to be picking up the phone. So if you're self-managing, I realize you may have a tough time with that, because if you're working or something like that, your day may be tied up and you may not get back to them quickly. But in my experience, the quickest person to respond, or at least the most responsive person, usually is who gets that client or that renter. So if you are self-managing and you have some issues with just availability, being able to take those calls, then maybe change up your voicemail and say, hey, if you are calling between this hour and this hour, please text me, or leave your voicemail, you leave your email on your voicemail. But availability is key. If you are not self-managing and you have a management company, you want to make sure that they're answering the calls. So with our platform, people can call or they can text us. A lot of times we get a lot of texts because they just want it real quick. Hey, how much is this house? When can I see it? And we text them back because anybody from my team can respond to our platform, the text that we get through our platform. So availability is like super important to make sure that the property is being shown and that people are getting their questions answered in a very prompt manner. So those are my tips. Again, guys, if we have that many people relocating to Dallas-Fort Worth every day, then we've got to look at all of those things. And then, which I have to kind of show investors this, looking at it from a perspective of, okay, let's say you're holding out for $1,500 and let's say the property is not moving at $1,500. If you are so focused on getting the $1,500 that you let it go multiple months and it's not rented versus reducing the price by $50 and getting it rented the next month, look at how much money you're actually saving. So yeah, you go down a little bit on the price, but you avoid having a vacant property in the winter months or for multiple months because you lose out on $50 a month or lose out on $1,500 a month. That is your choice. So if you want more tips, if you want me to look at your property and do a quick analysis on what you can do to get it rented if you are an investor or landlord that is facing this issue, please reach out to me, kingrealtytx.com. Comment below. If you know, if you're not a homeowner or landlord and you know of somebody in this situation, feel free to tag them below or share the post with them. So I hope this is helpful. Visit us, kingrealtytx.com, on Instagram and Twitter at kingrealtydfw. Where else are we? YouTube, King Realty TX, and most importantly, Facebook. I'm always putting out good content. So more stuff to come. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will talk to you later.